So the question I received was, should we be teaching white people? And my knee-jerk reaction was no. And then I had to really think and realize, wait a minute, I find myself teaching people who classify themselves as white all the time. So it really comes down to an issue of context. The context in which I'm speaking of is usually out in a public setting where I see people who classify themselves as white misrepresenting information to people who they classify as non-white, in which case I would take it upon myself to step in and correct that misinformation. That would usually, or that would have to be classified as a teaching moment, because information is being exchanged to people who classify themselves as white, and they're learning from that information. The knee-jerk reaction part comes from, I'm not sitting at home planning, plotting, researching, setting up, communicating with, or trying to set up my schedule around organizing teaching events for people who classify themselves as white. It's usually something that happens in a spontaneous moment, and usually in a sense of trying to correct misinformation. Also, another scenario that I would find myself in is that if I'm teaching people who are classified as non-white, and white people would come up or enter that space and also sit down or have questions concerning the information that I'm giving out. So, issue is intention. What is the intention? My intention is to give out accurate information to people who are classified as non-white and who are being victimized by a system of white supremacy racism. My intention is not to go out and fix white people, if that's the context that the question is coming in. My intention is to go out and give people who are being classified as non-white information to uplift and strengthen their mentality.